Yo, what's going on, guys? Another Teach Me episode, and this one is with Anna. I know a lot of people that don't know how to play Anna at a higher level wanted to know, so we got Mr. Taxi here. What's up, man?
Hello, hello. I am Mr. Taxi. They say I'm the Anna of the world, and yeah, I have a lot of Anna information to share with you guys. So yeah, let's get into it whenever you're ready.
Let's get into it. So let's talk about Anna's key moves.
Okay, so in Tekken, a lot of the key moves are gonna be jabs, down forward one, and generic down forward four. With Anna, this is still true. With this, she's able to control the pace of the match super well because she has 10 frame jab strings. So we'll just go with each move individually. So we'll start with one. Her one is, +1 on block, generic, 10 frames, which is awesome. But what really makes it stand out is that it has strings, extensions, like 1-4. So, like, for instance, at the end of the round, this move becomes a lot more terrifying. 1-4, you could do 1-1, 1-4, mix them up, and then you have 1-2. So you use this because Anna's jab range is pretty small. You see right here, like, this is just whiffing in front of your face, and we're like right next to each other.
Yeah.
So you have to do stuff like 1-2 to try to have more of an extended hitbox.
Yeah.
This makes it track a little bit more, and then you have more strings to follow up. So all these strings kind of work together to give you a sort of mental frame advantage to do stuff like 1-2-3. Right, so here you have to low parry that to deal with it, and then I can mix you up with like a 1-2 down forward 4, and then I'm really applying plus frame pressure there just with that mental mix up from the jab. So you can see how strong her jab game can be as far as mind games go because of how frame reliant it makes you.
So you see the 1-2, what is it? 1-2 down 4 or down 4?
1-2-3. It's 1-2 down 3.
Oh.
1-2-3. Just 1-2-3.
Okay, so you see this. So can I low block it, or does it have to be low parry?
You can low block it, but it's much better to low parry it just for the damage.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And then obviously, if they're scouting that, then you can change up your timing. You can do jabs, start doing movement. Basically, her jab game really opens up all of her options. So that's a key move there. And then another key move I'd say, is Magic 4. If you're more of like a spacing game player, if you're not trying to be aggressive, then you're gonna have to use these, it's a generic Magic 4, making it one of the best moves because you get a free combo.
Yeah.
11 frames, it's just generic, super strong.
Yeah.
So to keep people not ducking, then she has her down forward 1 series. It's a generic 13 frame mid, -1 on block, but it has really poor tracking. Even at, I think, +5, so if you get hit by this, you can still walk it. So, pretty poor tracking of a move. But it's her mid. She also has extensions. This is natural combo. Only +2 on hit. So, if you get hit by this and I try to do it, you can still jab me afterwards to stop me from applying my pressure. Let me try. First get hit by it.
Oh.
See? So you counter hit me there. So it's not true plus, very plus, but she has options. That's Anna's really an option-based character. All of her attacks seem to connect with each other as a mix of options.
Okay, cool. So talk to me about, like, her full crouch game, because everyone knows that Anna's full crouch game is ridiculously good.
Okay,
I think it's ridiculously good. So yeah.
So I think this is probably what separates her from every other character in the game, is that at any given moment, she can decide that I'm gonna do a half-life combo, take you to the wall, and implement this 50-50, right? And then she has a mid option and a low option, and they're both unseeable, true guesses. So that's like, that's like the rawest aspect of the full crouch 50-50. You get a low launcher or a mid launcher. From there, she can also do things like a power crush, right? So that's another aspect of her full crouch mix-up, is that she can do this power crush. Sorry, it's a little bit laggy. But she can do this power crush, and it has amazing Oki. So now, before in previous Tekkens, when people saw Anna in full crouch at negative frames, they would just mash like a down forward 1 or a down forward 2 to interrupt her. Now they can't really do that, but just because of the power crush option.
So that's what makes it a lot more...
A little more of a buff from the previous iteration. It is -14, so some characters can launch it, but, some characters, they don't have that option, so you can abuse it really hard against them. She also has a safe wall bounce option as well, which is also positional, because she only really gets the reward when the wall is behind you because wall bounce.
Yeah.
And then she gets a combo there from that. Yeah.
Oh,
see the options there.
nice.
So yeah, and it's safe on block as well. So that's another thing that's nice about this. Before it used to be a launcher, but they wanted to really accentuate the new aspects of the game, and so they gave her a wall bounce through that.
What do you think is better, having the launcher or having the wall bounce?
I think, honestly, it's better that she has the wall bounce just because she had a launcher here already. She can do things like forward, forward 3 from full crouch. It's a little bit safer. She can do, you know, crouch cancel down forward 2. So she has a lot of ability to launch regardless of this move. So just having a new safe mid option, you know, opens her up even more.
Yeah.
And then another aspect of our full crouch game is she can do down forward 1-2 from full crouch, and when she does that, the move actually tracks more because of the being in full crouch.
Oh, serious?
As well, the frame data has changed on her wall stand. Like, it's a little bit less damage from down forward 1 to wall standing 1, but you get 2 more frames, so it's actually +7 on hit instead of +5 on hit.
Oh, raw! I didn't know that.
As well, she can from down forward 1-2, she can go into the stance, cat stance, for a little bit of a mix-up. It's not a true mix-up because even on hit, your opponent can interrupt you because the stance transition takes a lot of frames. So even if they get hit, they can punish you for this. That's why you have the extension mix-ups. But if you get them to respect the extension mix-ups, then you can do things like this, right? Or stance into this, or whatever mix-up you want to do. So it's kind of like a three-way mix-up between, am I going to finish this, and you have to attack me, or, you know, are you going to accept this 50-50 from my stance? You know, it's a lot of mind games just from this as well.
Nice.
As well, she doesn't even have to go into stance, because this is a safe move in itself. So she can do stuff like just move around. You know, if you want to jab, she can start going for the full crouch mix-ups just to beat out your highs. So she has a lot of just options in the range 0 game. That's where she's definitely the strongest.
Nice. And what about like what is it, Chaos Judgement or Chaos of Judgment? What's her stance again?
Yeah. So Chaos Judgement stance, CJM, or Cat stance as it was previously called. Her main moves from that is probably going to be this low right here.
Yeah.
It's a +7 on hit natural combo string. She can get into it. Oh, sorry. First, let's talk about how she can get into the stance, right? So she can do back 3, right? Yeah. Manually get into the stance, and it auto low parries lows. So if you go low right here, then she's gonna automatically do a hop kick. As well, if you do a throw, it's gonna automatically counter the throw.
I don't know why. Yes, slow. Yeah.
Right there.
There we go.
So it'll automatically counter the throw. So it's an auto low and auto throw counter. As well, from the stance, she can do a crouch dash by holding down forward. So she can enter any of her crouch dash moves, which she has plenty that are decent. As well, let's see. She can do moves from the stance that are pretty strong. Pretty high risk, high reward. Like this low right here, that's +7 and does a crap ton of damage. She can also do a hop kick from it, which is punishable, but, you know, big damage, especially when you have rage. Hard 50-50 there. She can also do a 10-frame jab string. This is safe. It's high mid. She also has an 11-frame move right here. It's also high. It's safe on block, and on hit it's +15. So she can do that into more free stuff. She can also do a rage art from this. Right. As a female character, you can slap me back to stop it.
Yes.
That's a weird secret animation move. I guess we skipped ahead of ourselves.
Sorry.
No worries there. From the stance, she can also do a roll, and in the roll, she can, you know, go into full crouch. It's very transition-y. She can also finish it, and she also has a +frame high from that roll. Let's see what else. She could also do this move, and she also has a. Oh man, how do I do this? It's a little bit difficult. It's a just frame version of this. It's another secret move. She can do this in stance, and it's actually +5 frames more than usual. Where this is +1, it's actually +6 on block, and just 5 more of everything on hit, 5 more on counter hit. So you get a lot more free stuff.
So how do you do it? Show me.
So it's down forward 1+2. It's a just frame from
my stance. So she got the. Oh man.
It's kind of a little bit difficult, but so I haven't really practiced it, but it's definitely possible. A thing about it is that, let's say you get it on counter hit, usually you'd only get this move, right? On counter hit, you'd only get forward forward 3. It's a little hard, but with the stance, you're able to get this instead, which is a lot more damage with the walls behind them.
Yeah.
But another key move in stance is this right here. This is CJM3. It's a 12-frame mid, and it's a counter hit launcher with some of her transitions being plus on hit, it makes it basically an 11 frame counter hit option.
Yo, one second. UGC, thanks for the host, man. We're just going to teach me in a minute, but thank you very much, man. Yeah, sorry about that. Go on, Taxi.
Okay, so basically her cat stance is a very strong mix-up stance, but it does have weakness. Basically, its biggest weakness is being able to step it and then just block. A lot of characters like Zafina and Elisa are also able to, let's say you get a punish on them, right? And you can do this into stance. Most characters, they just have to hold a hard 50-50 because you're +7, which is what the stance is supposed to be used for, hard 50-50s. But characters like Zafina have that backdash where it's like, I don't have to respect it, I can just backdash.
Yeah.
But she also has a a safe mid right here that leaves her in full crouch.
Yeah.
And it also hits grounded. These are pretty much her cat stance options. I think I got all of them.
Yeah. So talk to me about her throws then.
Her throws, pretty weak. So she only has 2 really actually good throws. She has up forward 1+2. With at the wall gives you extra damage. And in previous games, they used to get a free get up kick against her, but now they buffed the recovery, so she's able to block it now. She also has down forward 1, which is another 1+2 throw. It's pretty fast in animation. Sorry.
I'll say
side throw. And it does give a very good recovery Oki, so I can mix you up after. If you try to do like a get up kick, I can like sidewalk it. You see that? So I have a lot of options. If you side roll, I can hit you side rolling with this move afterwards. So, you know, there's a lot of options off this throw right here. If you try to stand straight up, I can just duck in your face and then 50-50. Oh, you walked it.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, you were too good. No worries. But, you know, this hits grounded. So, a lot of options from that throw. And then, other than that, she has these normal throws right here.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any special 1 or 2 throw breaks. It's all 1+2 or a normal throw.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really get any Oki off this unless you roll back. That's the only thing. Is if you roll back, I can get this on your back. If you roll
really?
like directly, yeah. So see, just hold. Maybe not in this game. They kind of changed how roll back works in this game.
Is it down forward? Oh no, I don't know.
Maybe just hold back like altogether, like away from me.
See, that's the only one that works. Like I tried to do forward, and forward makes me get up in that weird way. So
I guess they took that out with the new get up kick system mechanics.
I have to figure out that one. That one's weird.
So she doesn't really have any good grab Okizemi or grab game, other than really this throw right here, honestly. Another aspect of this throw is that it actually breaks the floor and she gets a free combo.
So yeah, that's. What about her multi-grab throws? Obviously, it might be hard to get.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I forgot about those. So these, they start off with a 2 break, and then afterwards they're a complete guess. She can do 1 of every option, 1, 2, and 1+2. That was the 1, and then this is the 1+2. Whoops. So it's a very small mix-up. Unfortunately, this can be seen. Most high-level players are just gonna stop it right initially, because she's doing it straight from the crouch dash, and it's only going to be a 2 break option. But if you get this part to land, it's plus on hit right here. So you can, you know, if they try to jab, you can do stuff like counter hit them 2-4 at the wall. You can also go for the extension. But if they break it, then it hurts you.
Yeah.
It's like a watered down version of Nina's throws, and then which is an even more watered down version of King and Armor King's.
Okay, cool. And that's the only multi throw she has, just from that.
Yeah, you don't really rely on throws with Anna. She's more of a low, mid, and high kind of character. She has like really strong lows. Like down forward 4 is +5 on hit. On counter hit, she gets a free stomp follow up. I'm pretty sure she also gets this as well for more damage.
Yeah.
Also, when there's a floor break, she gets a combo as well. So, you know, and it's also +5 on a 16 frame low, right? So that means if you go for a wall standing 3 right here or a wall standing 4, you're gonna trade with me, and I'm gonna get my follow up. We're off axis. Try it now. Oh wow, weird.
I think it's because of latency. I don't know. That was correct. That was just.
But you see right there,
I get
like
you.
a trade. Yeah. So she's able to really set up a strong mix-up game just because, you know, in this position your options are extremely limited, and I already know as an Ana player what my options are. Right, at +5, I can do stuff like this, and you kind of just have to respect it.
Yeah. +5 is a lot as well, so.
Yes, quite a bit. Let's see what else. She also has down 4 as a very strong low because she can go into the stance from it, and then she's +1.
Yeah.
So let's say you try to like attack me with a down forward 1 after, and I can just counter hit you. I can also high crush from the stance with the down forward. So even if you jab me.
Oh man.
So Ana pretty much has an answer for everything. That's like kind of the key part of her move list, is that, you know, there's no way escaping if I just guess right every time.
Yeah. Nice. So what secret stuff does she has?
Let's see. So she can do. I might not be able to do it because of lag, but she can do an unblockable from this attack right here, the 4-4-3-4-3. If she presses 1+2, back in 1+2 at the same moment that the last kick hits, then it turns into a just frame unblockable, and you can use that for some setups. There it is.
Oh,
you saw that? Lucky, even online. Yeah.
I've never seen that before. I've never seen.
You can also use it in wall combos as well. It's her max damage wall combo ender, because even if it hits low on the ground, she gets this as an extended follow-up.
Oh, whoa, Mr. Taxi, slow down, man. Slow down. Whoa, I've never seen that.
That's like old. That's like super old. That's like Tekken 5 old.
Never seen. I ain't seen no Ana players use that. No.
Actually, there's a story of a guy from I think he was from North Carolina. He's a Puerto Rican player. His name was Dexter, and they called him Dexter because he was always in the lab, and he was an Ana player. And he actually found this out. And in Tekken 5, if you landed this as a wall combo, they just immediately died, like as an ender, because there was no scaling. And it did like 100 damage by itself, and there was no scaling in Tekken 5. And so they called him Dexter because he was always in the lab finding shit like this.
That's bad. So what other stuff does she have? Like stuff that you don't. Obviously, we spoke about the slap. If you're a female character, you can press 2 after getting the slap. But then
okay, well, that's pretty much like all of her like secret like attacks per se. But she has some things that work specifically against big characters, like against bears, for instance. That is now a launcher, right? That's kind of like secret, right? Like no one really knows the matchup that well. That okay, if I do this, then against a bear character, I get a free combo. So she has a bunch of like abusable stuff against big characters.
Let me switch it. Let me switch it. Let me switch to. Sure. Does it work against like Marduk, Gigas, or is it just bears?
I think it's Gigas and I think it's bears, but I don't think it's anyone else. But I'm not 100% about Gigas.
Let's try it. Let's see.
Yeah, for sure. I also know that she has other moves like forward 2, for instance, against like Jack, Dragunov, Armor King, any of the bigger characters will give a free combo.
Okay.
Well, this will give a free combo, I believe. First. It's a little hard because you have to dash.
Yeah. Because
let's try the thing. Let's try that one thing. What was it again? Oh, it's this. Okay, so it's only bears only that becomes a combo.
Okay, let me try. Let me try bears. Cause I find that very interesting.
Yeah, so she has a fair bit of hitbox specific stuff in terms of wall combos as well as in her neutral game. Like maybe this move is more effective just because of like the size of the character. Oh, so let me do this.
Oh my god, yo.
So which is also really good, right? Because let's say I do a combo on you from here, right? And then now I want to put you in a mix-up. If you think, oh, he's gonna go low there, then you duck, and then boom, another combo. Another thing against the bears is that I get some pretty cool combos, like this, for instance. Oh, fuck. Ah, lag. Okay, I can do it.
Go on, I believe in you, man. I believe in you.
Right, and then that leads to a full couch mix-up from there.
Damn.
So, there's a lot of like abusable stuff. What else? Another thing against, you know, the characters that are big like this, like let's say that even if I'm -4, right, and I do down 4-2 against the bear character, no matter you'll never be able to sidestep it, even if I'm negative. So let's say I'm -2 right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna track just because you're so big.
Yeah. Damn. So you basically have to play like a 2D.
Yeah, against Anna as a bear. This matchup is heavily in Anna's favor.
Damn.
But just because he's so big, and then I have so many, ways to avoid your stuff, and you don't really have much to deal with me.
That is crazy. Alright, so finishing up on this one, what would you say is the key tips on how to fight against Anna?
Okay, so I think the key tip to fight against Anna is to understand the character's game plan and what she is strong at and what she excels in. So Anna, she has a lot of strings, and she has a lot of counter hit tools, and she has a lot of plus frame moves that lead into each other as a mind game. So what you want to do to defend against Anna is to really study down and break down the character and evaluate the risk-reward of their options. Because the moment that an Anna player makes a mistake like this right here, you can hop kick me. If you block that low, I'm -15, right? If I do down forward 1 and you really think I'm going to do down forward 1, you can sidestep me, sidewalk me, and then get a lot of damage. So any type of like data that I try to get from poking you or by being aggressive, there's a risk of me dying. So really, it's all about just evaluating, okay, when is my opportunity to capitalize on Anna's offense? Because Anna's offense, although has an answer for everything, it's also super duper risky.
Yeah.
And you just have to play the same gamble game that she does, because the math is actually in your favor, not her favor. The only thing that's in her favor is the mind games, because as an Anna player, you're used to playing the gamble.
Nice. Alright, cool, man. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Taxi, for taking your time out. Obviously we're both I'm in the UK and you're in America, right? You're in America now?
Yes, I'm in America now. I was in Pakistan for like 2 months, and then I was in Japan for 2 weeks. But I've been in America since quarantine, pretty much.
Nice. How did it go in Pakistan? 'Cause I know you was training up there, and I was watching some of the matches.
Oh yeah. It was super awesome in Pakistan. Some of the stuff was a little bit hard. Just the culture shock. The bathrooms, the lack of hot showers. That was a little bit difficult. But I definitely got to play against some of the strong players of Lahore. I played against Arsalan. I played against Farzine a lot. Me and Farzine played like a lot of first to 25s, a lot of first to 30s, stuff like that. Their players are super duper strong. I'd say they're super duper like fundamental based players, but way more aggressive than what we're used to.
Okay, so did you feel like you leveled up as a player in terms of your decisions?
I feel like, yeah, because the way they played, a lot of them were either like hyper aggressive, and you had to really buckle down and solid up to deal with their offense because they were going to kill you, or they were like super defensive, and you really had to buckle down on your decisions and really value what moves you're going to do. That way you don't make a mistake and lose all your life bar. Because, they play characters like Geese, Akuma, and Leroy at the time who did insane amount of damage. So anytime they made one good decision, it was like 80% of your health. So, having to deal with that all the time was like, okay, I really have to value my life bar and what I'm doing. Otherwise, I'm just going to die to these 80% combos.
Nice. So would you say Pakistan's playstyle is different compared to like any other playstyles you've seen in different regions or countries?
Let's see. I'd say that they do play different than Japanese and Korean players for sure. I feel like they are more of like American style in terms of how they like to be aggressive and offensive, but they have more of the knowledge of maybe a Korean player. In terms of like, oh, okay, maybe that was like not something I should do. You know what I mean? Like knowing when to hold back. I'd say that's the difference. Like how Koreans are always generally super duper defensive players, who value like the time and the decisions and movement.
Yeah.
I'd say Pakistani players, they have movement, but they rely more on the moves, like the mind games of the moves, rather than the mind games of the movement.
Nice. No, I understand that. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. If you got socials that you'd like to share it out. Your Twitter, your Twitch. If you got YouTube as well.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you can follow me on Twitter at VA Mr. Taxi. Definitely follow me there. It's my main social media that I use. You can also follow me on on Twitch at 7CG Mr. Taxi. I wanted to shout out to 7 Cities Gaming League, my sponsor. They are doing amazing things where, sending me to Pakistan before, they sent me to Japan for EVO Japan. Right now, we're actually in the works for a comic book, so follow Seven Cities Gaming League on YouTube, not YouTube, I'm sorry, on Twitter, and then check on that. It'll be awesome. Getting to see pro Tekken players, pro video game players as comic book characters could be cool and nerdy, and we have nothing else to do during quarantine. And definitely check out me on Twitter. If you have any Anna questions, head out my DMs.
Nice one, man. Thank you very much for your time, man. Much appreciated, man.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
All right.